All right, boys. What do we want to do for our Christmas card this year?
Avengers. Avengers.
We did Avengers last year.
We're gonna do Endgame. Endgame.
Endgame? Who's going to be Thanos?
Baby Matthew! Baby Matthew!
What? All right, I guess it was cool last year. It'll be cool this year. The making of the Christmas card. This is so much fun. We have a lot of fun getting together as a family and doing this. The actual shooting process doesn't take long at all. This process takes maybe, setup, tear down, getting costumes, 90 minutes. It's this part, the editing part, that takes forever. And this little guy, Matthew, our youngest, he didn't really want to get into any costume whatsoever. So I had to do a lot of finagling with this one. As you can see, I turned him into Baby Thanos, which is basically this, evil destroyer of worlds. And that's pretty much what Matthew is anyway. We love him, but man, he is a pain. He's in that terrible 2 stage. So he's the perfect Thanos this year on our Christmas card. This was actually really difficult. The bulk of all of my editing here was done for this card on Matthew. I had to build all of the armor, the shirt, everything, all custom built in Photoshop with many, many, many different layers and many textures, lots of hand-painted layers, because I got to a point where as I was editing this thing, I could not get the costume to look like what I wanted it to. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do some hand drawing in here. So I got a custom brush that I built, and I just basically built all of the armor from the ground up. His shirt, pretty much that same brush with a little bit of texture on it, and the belt very much the same as what you saw that was going on with the chest plate armor there. And you know what, with this kind of thing, you don't have to make it too realistic, especially because we're printing this on a 4x6 card. Because of that, we're going to lose a lot of details too. If you look at his face here, I added a lot of detail, like that Thanos skin to his arms and his face, but it's not going to show up on the 4-inch by 6-inch card. It will, however, show up in a bigger printed print. So you do want to pay attention to those details. If you're building these types of things out, the best part is just to get in there and get it to be as most accurate and realistic as you can. You just saw a cameo appearance of our last card. Hold on a second, real quick. All right, so I'm not sure if you remember this, but last year my wife absolutely refused to be anybody in the Marvel universe. I brought up all these different characters that she could have been in last year's card, and she said no. I even brought up Black Widow. I was like, come on, Black Widow, she's cool. And she's like, oh, no. I think that was her reaction to that. But this year, because of the Captain Marvel movie, we got her on board. So this card is full on Marvel. So if you're thinking, why would you do the same card that you did last year? Blake, well, number one, my boys love it. And number two, we got a rematch with an entire Marvel Universe themed card. Yes. The dork inside of me finally wins. So this is actually, what they call a weave, I think. And this is a Photoshop weave. It's when you take hair from another picture and you drop it into this one because you didn't quite get the fan blowing in the hair like we wanted to. And it's really easy to do it with an image like this because of what you see here. We're going to give her this energy look. Captain Marvel is basically pure energy. So we had to give my wife that same type of look. So the hair doesn't necessarily have to be perfect because we're just going to be making her look like she's pure energy anyway. So there's going to be a lot of different blend modes and different colors that are going to be used on her hair. Many different types of energy blasts that are being used here to kind of give it that effect of energy. So it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect. It just had to be believable enough to the viewer at the end. Mine was actually really simple and really easy. I just got this shirt on with some gloves and some leftover stuff that we even had from last year to build my costume out. Not very hard to do. Michael was the same way. Spider-Man's easy. Spider-Man out of the box is just a simple costume to create. You don't have to do any energy blasting. I didn't have to do any chest plate removal and put in there and recreate all this craziness that I had to do for someone like Baby Thanos. So me and Michael this year, we got off with just a little bit of dodging and burning and real simplistic editing. My wife, however, and Baby Thanos there, well, they're a different story. Another thing about details here is that you don't see the details that I put into the spider webs in the card, but they're there in the final image, just like the details in Baby Thanos' face. Now, this is William, and William wanted to be Hulk. So we went with the Smart Hulk concept from Endgame. We were going to put him in a costume, but then was like, you know what? Hulk is just an angry, naked man with purple shorts on. So that's what we did with William here. Used some dodging and burning, some really clever tricks to turn his skin green, and then the liquefy tool to make his muscles look huge. And this is what they do in magazines, folks, okay? So that's all we did here with William as well. His was actually probably my most favorite one of the whole card, just because it's so simple and really awesome. So, looking at some of the other art, the other Marvel Universe art that was out there, I saw these backgrounds that were really galactic, and that's kind of what has the feel of, all the Marvel, most recent Marvel movies when Thanos came on, because he is kind of an alien. So we put more of a nightscape scene behind us this time, as opposed to a cityscape scene that we would see in like the last card, which is kind of based off of the Age of Ultron type stuff. So here's all just the finishing details. And at this point, what you're not seeing is how many hours of work have gone into this. So leading up to this, I believe we're right about the 4-minute mark on this. Let's see here. We are at about the 5-minute mark on here. So at the 5-minute mark on what you're seeing here, I've already worked on this for probably 5.5 hours. The whole card took me 6 hours and 40 minutes from the very beginning, shooting the exposures of us, and then to the card creation. So about 6 hours and 40 minutes to create all of this. The amount of layers here, though, to create this was about 125 different layers that you're seeing that create this final two-dimensional image. So there's a lot of work that goes into these things, but the reward is just so high. Here you can see some fine-tuned detailing so I can get out some of the glare that we had from the lights on Smart Hulk's face there. And this year we went sans words, because on the flip side of our card, we actually put Merry Christmas, Love the Rudis Family on the back, so I didn't feel like it was necessary on the front. That's basically this card in a nutshell. We did the color grading on here at the end to finish it all off, maybe brighten up some of the details, added some more dodging and burning, and just finish the whole thing off with those fine-tuned details in the shorts that are ripping on Smart Hulk's pants there. And that's it. That's the Rudis Family Christmas card in 6 hours and 40 minutes.
Ready? Take one.
Okay. Whose birthday is it?
Me, Mommy.
No.
Baby dear. Big birthday, baby dear. Merry Christmas, everybody. We love you. We love you. I love you. Ow.